Good morning, gentlemen. Sunday it is, so I'm not doing much, just farting around. As you can see, the cleanup job continues apace. Soon I will have everything rearranged and have room to do stuff for a little while until it gets messy again, but let's fart around with these radios since most of the old computer stuff has moved out of here temporarily. Now, there's my old 520 that I've had for years, and there is that 599. And the 599 is connected to that long wire antenna that I strung around the fence a while ago. Yesterday there was another video about that, I think, something. And I'm receiving some kind of digital mud signal here. I think it might be FSK, but I'm not 100% sure. Somebody's transmitting a beacon there. This receiver includes this preselector knob, which tunes the preamplifier. You can see that if I move this off frequency, the signal just completely goes away. And the position that this knob needs to be in as you tune, see there it's really quiet, but we can bring it right back in there. You can hear it. You can hear it just even in the static, see? As I turn the knob back and forth, you can hear it tune into for maximum sensitivity there. The position that preselector knob needs to be in varies depending on where in the band you're tuned to, so that makes it a pain in the ass to surf up and down the band looking for signals, because you've got to be constantly adjusting this at the same time. And the reason for that, I think, is exactly because we're directly connected. We don't have any impedance matching transformer at all here. We're just directly connected to this long wire, and that wire probably has an impedance of about 450 ohms or something, and the output of the receiver has an impedance of 50 ohms. And what we're ending up doing is, as we change frequency, we're actually retuning this that internal amplifier to match that antenna. But if we had the antenna impedance closer to 50 ohms, we wouldn't have to fuck around with that as much. I mean, it wouldn't be perfect all the time, but it would stay near the center, and it wouldn't be like wildly varying throughout the band, so we could tune around a lot easier. And the way we have to fix that is to build a 9-to-1 impedance matching transformer to take that 450 ohm long wire impedance down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 ohms to match this receiver better, and then the antenna will resonate better without farting around with that preselector. So this is the schematic for such a transformer. This one calls for a T200 type toroid core here. I'm going to use a type 61. I think it'll work better than a T200. And then we'll just have to make, what is it, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 windings of 3 different color wires around there, and then twist some wires and shit together. It's just going to be a temporary thing. I'm not going to solder it or anything. And then hook it up with some alligator clips and see if we have any better luck tuning around. Now, it may be worth noting that the old 520 doesn't have a preselector control for its receiver, and it doesn't exhibit this behavior, so it must be doing something funny internally to tune in these wildly varying antenna impedances or something. I'm going to have to do a little reading on that. Either that, or there's something wrong with this 599 receiver. I don't know which. If installing this Unun is unbalanced to unbalanced RF transformer doesn't fix this issue, then I'll have to get on some forums and see if someone has some suggestions, because it shouldn't have that much variance with a properly tuned antenna. I found them finally. I put them somewhere safe where I wouldn't lose them and promptly forgot where that was. But there we go. These are pretty small roids, and we'll have to use pretty small wire. This probably wouldn't be suitable for transmitting very high power on, but we'll do what we can. Let me select some suitable wires, or perhaps unsuitable wires. But the wires that I happen to have handy here, and we'll cut some pieces off here and start windificating. You know, I got up and I fed the cats and the cattle and the dog and fixed a leaky faucet, and then came straight up here to work on this, and I realized that I haven't even had my breakfast yet, so hang on while I grab my breakfast. I will be right back. All right, very good. Now I can get fortified, just like the honey Alexa. So let's see here. If one turn of wire is going to be about 1 1/8, then I will need some number of inches. I'll have to have some hanging out to clip to. I'll just cut off a foot of each color, and that should be sufficient, I would think. Well, gentlemen, I cut the wire 3 times and it's still too short, but no, I actually haven't tried it yet. We'll see. It'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. I just hope that I hope my Roid is big enough. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that. So yes, of course, the color of the wire is vitally important to the proper operation of the Unun. If this wire ends up being too big, I guess I'll have to use some magnet wire, and then it probably won't work. My Roid was a little too small, but I squirmed and fumbled around until it finally all went in, and as a result we're left with this conglomeration that looks like something that the cat would probably puke on my pillow as punishment for not feeding him promptly. So let's connect these ends as they should be and see what happens. Alright, the red, alright, let's see, this comes in here. This blue needs to connect to this red. So hang on a second, let me get my strip of my fire and my cutterator. Here's my cutterator right here. Make sure I'm doing this right, because once I cut these, that's the end of it. Okay, the blue comes in and connects to the red that comes out, right? Yeah. Had this stripper since I was in college back in the 90s. It's an old boy. I probably should have wrapped a piece of tape around that Roid, because we don't want bare wires touching that Roid, I imagine. I'll just strip them a little long, and then hopefully they won't. We'll use the top of an expensive vintage radio receiver for a workbench. That's pretty pro, isn't it? I'm gonna tin these other ends too, just so I have something a little bit beefier to hook my alligator clips to. I'm not gonna put this in a box or anything. This is just kind of a experiment. Experiment, as the kids in my grade school used to say. We're gonna do experiments today. Yes, sirs. All right. There it is, boys. Oh God, look at that glob of solder. That looks like somebody shat upon it. Can't have that. Can't show the camera that. You guys will think I'm not pro or something. That'd just be a travesty of mythical proportions. Alright, there it is, boys, the Roid. Let's see here. That's going to be the 50 ohm input. That's the braid. This will be the ground, the braid on the coax. And this will be the 450 ohm output to our long wire antenna. So let me clean up and we'll hook it up and see if anything catches on fire. That's always exciting, isn't it? Let's zoom in here for the full frontal money shot for the video thumbnail. Very good. Yes. So, yeah, I have actually been trying to drink a lot less. I have been drinking a lot less. That whole happy drunk YouTube persona. There's that Venn diagram, you know, where the happy drunk YouTube persona intersects with real life, and they kind of went there for a while, and that wasn't good. But fortunately, I'm an idiot whether I'm intoxicated or not, so you probably can't tell the difference. So yeah, bonus. Alright, let's hook this bastard up and see what happens. Alright, so after making all those connections and shit, after we wrapped the Roid there, this is a schematic of what the transformer actually looks like. The 50 ohm signal feeds in here, and the 450 ohm, well, the 450 ohm antenna connects here. There's no signal feeding in here. I mean, I guess you could try to transmit QRP through that thing or something. And then the ground is shared between them. So it's just an impedance matching transformer. There's nothing super complicated there. It just looks that way. And here it is, all hooked up in the flesh, and hooked up to the coax coming from the radio, and up to the long wire. And of course we have our extremely professional and highly shielded alligator clip leads hooking to that part that should be balanced. So that may fuck everything up. For this to work right, it ought to be in a metal box with a coax connector on it, and it should be hooked to the receiver via coax so that the feed line impedance doesn't get fucked up. But this is experiment. If this doesn't do it, then I'll hook it up to a coaxial connector of some kind. Well, that digital signal's still there. Let's see, we're on 20 meters right now. Let's tune around and see if we have to adjust the pre-selector. The band, it's like 12 in the afternoon right now. So the band conditions, Jesus Christ. The band conditions probably aren't the greatest right now, although so far it sounds pretty good. Alright, the pre-selector's still in about the same place. Where'd that signal go? Pre-selector's still in the same place. Still about the same place. See, it's I'm having to tune it a little bit as we cross the band, but it's like before I had to go the whole way. The way this is, I think I can leave it in the middle and find a signal, and then, you know, get all hoinked in on it there. Let's see, we're on 20 meters. I don't know if there'll be any shortwave stations on 20 meters or not. Let's Go over here to 40 and switch to AM mode. We don't need the noise blanker. This is the middle of the radio quiet zone. Probably not going to pick anything up this time of day. I think there's a really loud one here somewhere around 500 usually. No, the band it's not propagating right now. Those frequencies propagate better at night. Seems like 20 meters was propagating the best. So yeah, let's just go down here to the beginning of the band. Tune this in. Find a signal. Oops. Okay, there's that digital signal again. Get that thing centered where it is, and then we'll just go to the end of the band and find something. Well, we can probably tell from the noise. Yeah, okay, so the pre-selector only moved just a hair. Although, oh man, I'll lose a lot just in that distance there. But that's alright, you know, I can go like 200 kilohertz at a hitch or something before I have to retune. That's acceptable. So, okay, for experiment's sake, let's hook this conglomeration up to the 520 and see if it pulls out signals any better on otherwise the same setup. Be right back. All right, 520. Where were we? 20 meters. Yeah. Okay. Well, this thing's got some issues, so we have to fuck around a little bit. Gotta fix this thing one of these days. Alright, let's see. What's on? Okay. That may have been the same digital signal we were hearing before. It was closer to 100 on that thing, but the VFO on this thing, may be way out of calibration. Let's keep going, see what we can find. Oh, you scratchy bastard. Quit that. So, I wasn't pulling out those voice signals on the 599 before. Where were they at? That's really faint, but I wasn't pulling them out at all on that thing. It really makes me wonder about the sensitivity of that receiver, whether it might have something wrong with it. I'll try it. I'll try it again tonight, when the band conditions are a little better, and might be able to tell something. Lots of digital stuff here. Maybe those are harmonics coming from somewhere. I don't hear any CW, and I don't hear very much voice, though. Well, was that some FT8 right there? I think that's FT8, isn't it? I don't know. No CW going on anywhere there. Huh. There's somebody tuning up or something, I guess. That wasn't there before. I don't think it was it? I don't know. Oh, there's some CW. Where'd he go? See, this thing doesn't have a bandwidth selector on it either, so it just automatically changes bandwidth when you switch between sideband and CW. Where'd he go? Well, anyway, there was some CW there for a second. I guess I can't hear whoever's responded to him. I don't know if anybody did. Anyhow, yeah, I'll screw around with it more tonight. So, without the Unun, the 520 behaves exactly the same as it does with. With the 599, and without the Unun, I have to run that prescaler knob all the way back and forth throughout the band as I'm tuning. But with it, it only has to move, like 2 notches from the middle, 1 notch on either side of the middle there. So, oh, there he comes back. Oh, he disappeared again. Never mind. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that. If any of you guys have any clue sticks you can hit me with, that would be keen. Alright, so just for giggles and shits, I soldered this RCA connector straight onto this thing. So those great big long alligator clip cables wouldn't be fucking with the feed line impedance, and now maybe we'll see here. I'll go down here to the beginning of the band, tune it in. It definitely changed the pre-selector position there a little. We'll go up here to the end and see how much difference it made. No, it's still about the same amount of throw on the pre-selector there, 1 notch on either side of center. So shortening those big long wires going to the Unun didn't do anything. Bullshit. Oh well. I've got the rest of the day. Hell, maybe there'll be another video today. I don't know. Fuck it. See you later. Thanks for joining me.